You get paid, and for 1 second, it feels like you can finally breathe. Then rent hits, subscriptions hit, groceries hit, and one normal repair finishes the job. If that feels familiar, stay with me, because the rules in this video could save you months of stress and years of bad money habits.
One person makes more and still panics every month. Another makes less and sleeps peacefully. Let me show you the minimalist money rules that create real stability, because most people get this completely wrong. For most people, money feels like a treadmill. Payday arrives, the calendar moves, and suddenly rent, food, transport, and random expenses are already waiting. You're moving constantly, but somehow you never feel ahead. And the really dangerous part isn't always one huge mistake. It's the tiny leaks you barely notice. Subscriptions, delivery fees, upgrades, convenience payments. Here's what most people don't realize. Small, recurring costs become permanent financial gravity. Want to know why some people feel broke even on decent income? Because fixed costs don't negotiate. Once those monthly payments lock in, they follow you every single month, whether life goes well or completely sideways. Then one normal life event shows up. A repair, a dentist visit, a flight home, a broken phone. Not a disaster, just real life. But without a buffer, ordinary problems instantly become expensive emergencies. Money clutter creates stress before the numbers even get bad. Too many cards, too many apps, too many half-tracked accounts. Imagine this. When your system is messy, your brain starts avoiding it, and avoidance gets very expensive. This is why money instability hurts more than your bank balance. It follows you into sleep, into relationships, into work, into your sense of self. The stress isn't just financial, it becomes emotional and physical too. Most people try to fix this by tracking every penny harder, but wait until you hear this. Stability usually doesn't come from more effort. It comes from a simpler system with fewer ways for money to escape. Here's the core idea. Financial stability is not just about income. It's about the gap between what comes in and what your life requires every month. The bigger that gap, the calmer your entire life feels.
Rule number 1, your lifestyle must cost less than your normal income. Not your best month, not your overtime month, not your bonus month. Let me show you why that difference changes everything. Rule 2, cap fixed costs aggressively. Rent, transport, insurance, debt payments, phone plan. If those costs eat too much of your take-home pay, one bad month can knock over your whole financial life. How much is too much? Usually more than you can comfortably repeat. Rule 3, separate your money by job. One place for bills, one for daily spending, one for savings. Here's what most people don't realize. Clarity reduces overspending because every dollar already has a destination. Rule 4, build a starter buffer first. Before investing harder, before optimizing, before perfect budgeting, get one small cash cushion between you and chaos. Even one paycheck or $1,000 can change your emotional state immediately. Then comes Rule 5, grow that into an emergency fund. Not because you're pessimistic, but because life is normal. Jobs change, people get sick, things break. Stability means being ready without needing a financial miracle. This is where it gets interesting. A lot of emergencies aren't emergencies at all. They're predictable expenses you forgot to prepare for. Sinking funds turn future stress into planned spending. Can you feel how much calmer that system is? Rule 6, reduce money complexity. One main spending card, one clean system, one place to review. The more payment paths you have, the easier it is for money to leak out without your brain fully noticing. Rule 7, automate the important stuff right after payday. Bills, buffer, investing, all before lifestyle spending expands. Let me show you why this matters. Automation beats motivation because motivation disappears exactly when life gets busy. Rule 8, put a delay between desire and purchase. A simple 72-hour waiting rule kills a shocking number of bad decisions. Imagine this. If you still want it later, maybe it matters. If not, your money just got protected. Most people spend every raise before they've even felt it. That's lifestyle inflation. Here's what most people don't realize. Every upgrade becomes a future bill. A simpler base life gives every new dollar more power. Minimalist money rule. Prefer useful over impressive. A reliable option with low ongoing cost often beats the flashy option with a monthly payment. Which one actually protects your future self? That's the better purchase. Rule 10. Debt must become boring and controlled, not casual and normal. Financing random wants keeps your future income busy paying for your past emotions. Let me show you why that destroys stability faster than people expect.
You don't need 50 money metrics. You need a few that actually matter. How much your life costs, how much cash buffer you have, what debt is dragging you, and whether saving happens automatically. Simple beats impressive. So the goal isn't a complicated financial life, it's a calm one. Fewer accounts, fewer payments, fewer surprises, more margin. And now let me show you what happens when someone ignores every one of these rules. Imagine this. Oliver gets a raise and thinks, finally, now I can relax. But within days, that extra income starts attracting upgrades like a magnet. Sound familiar? This is where the trap quietly begins. He upgrades the apartment because the monthly payment feels manageable. That's the dangerous word, manageable. Many money mistakes don't feel reckless in the moment, they feel reasonable, polished, and easy to justify. Then come the harmless extras. Better phone plan, one more app, more delivery, a nicer gym, faster everything. Here's what most people don't realize. Stability rarely breaks from one purchase. It breaks from stacked monthly commitments. Then the sneakiest trap appears. Split payments. Not expensive, just 4 easy parts, right? Wait until you hear this. When you divide the pain, you also divide your awareness, and that's exactly why it works. By the middle of the month, the race feels gone. Not because he wasted everything, but because his new normal got expensive fast. Have you noticed how quickly a better income can become a tighter life? Then real life arrives. The car needs repair. Nothing dramatic, just inconvenient and expensive. But because every extra dollar was already promised to something else, one normal bill suddenly feels like a financial punch in the throat. So he bridges the gap with a credit card. Just this once. Let me show you why that moment matters so much. It's the exact point where a cash flow problem starts becoming a debt problem. Most people get this completely wrong. They think the problem is the original bill. It isn't. The problem is what happens after the bill, when interest, minimum payments, and panic decisions start stacking on top. Then avoidance kicks in. He stops checking the app because every glance feels stressful. Imagine this. The less you look, the less control you have, and the more your financial life starts happening to you.
This is the part people don't talk about. Money stress makes you less present. You're physically in the room, but mentally you're calculating, postponing, worrying, and shrinking. Financial instability steals attention before it steals opportunities. So he works more hours to compensate. But the gap never really opens because his fixed costs are still too high. Here's what most people don't realize. Extra effort can't permanently fix an expensive baseline. And then the realization hits. The issue was never that he was bad with money. The issue was that his life had become too expensive to carry comfortably. Can you see how different that diagnosis is? So he starts cutting. Not randomly, but strategically. He attacks recurring costs first, because those buy back future months, not just today. This is where it gets interesting. One change can pay you again and again. The painful lesson wasn't the repair bill. It was discovering he had no margin. And once you understand that, everything changes. Because financial stability is really a game of protecting margin above all else. Here's the hidden mechanic. High income feels strong, but low required expenses are often stronger. Why? Because income can drop suddenly. A simpler lifestyle keeps standing even when life puts pressure on your finances. Every monthly obligation adds weight to your financial backpack. You may still walk, but you lose flexibility, speed, and resilience. Let me show you why that matters. Stability is basically the ability to absorb impact without collapsing. This is why fixed costs matter more than tiny daily spending debates. Cutting one coffee helps a little. Cutting a bloated monthly payment helps every single month automatically. Which move gives you more breathing room for the same effort? Most people spend energy on dozens of tiny choices and ignore the few decisions that shape everything. Wait until you hear this. One smart housing, transport, or debt choice can outperform months of small discipline. Minimalism with money is not deprivation. It's subtraction with a purpose. You remove obligations that don't meaningfully improve your life, so the things that do matter become easier to fund, protect, and enjoy.
Cash savings change the texture of a problem. With no cash, every surprise feels urgent and sharp. With a buffer, the exact same surprise becomes softer, slower, and far less likely to push you into debt. This is where it gets interesting. Sinking funds don't just save money, they protect your nervous system. When the annual bill arrives and the money is already waiting, your brain learns that not every expense is a threat. People love motivation, but systems win. Automation is powerful because it removes the daily argument. You don't wake up and decide whether to save. It already happened. Can you see how much weaker temptation becomes after that? Status purchases often cost more than money. They steal flexibility. Every expensive symbol asks your future self to keep earning at a certain level just to defend an image. Is that object serving you or owning you? Margin buys options. That may be the most underrated money truth there is. When your life is cheap enough and your cash is strong enough, you can say yes slower, no faster, and make better decisions. Here's what most people don't realize. Financial stability changes your behavior before it changes your net worth. You negotiate differently, choose differently, and panic less, because you're not desperate every time money gets uncertain. And yes, once your base is stable, investing becomes simpler too. Not more dramatic, simpler. Automate long-term investing after your financial floor is secure. Building wealth works better when survival isn't competing with it every month. You also don't need to obsess daily. A short monthly review is enough for most people. Check the essentials, adjust the leaks, reset the system. That's how minimalist money stays effective without taking over your life. If you only remember 3 things, remember these. Lower fixed costs, build cash, automate the important moves. Most people chase hacks, but these 3 rules quietly create the strongest financial life. Ready to see the contrast?
Now let's flip the story. Same person, same income range, completely different setup. Oliver simplifies everything. The first difference isn't his paycheck, it's the path his money takes the moment it arrives. On payday, the essentials happen automatically. Bills get covered, savings gets moved, investing starts, and only then does spending money remain. Let me show you why that feels so powerful. The good decisions happen before emotion enters. He also keeps fixed costs low enough that one rough month isn't fatal. That's the real secret. Stability doesn't mean zero problems. It means your normal life is light enough to survive normal problems. Remember those so-called emergencies? Now they have names and envelopes. Car fund, gift fund, travel fund, annual bills fund. Here's what most people don't realize. Naming the expense is the first step to controlling it. Then something breaks at home. But this time, there's no panic spiral, no emergency credit card, no shame. Just money already set aside doing the exact job it was given. Can you feel the difference? He also gets better at saying no. Not because he hates spending, but because he finally understands the hidden price of every upgrade. More pressure on future income. That awareness is what makes restraint feel intelligent, not restrictive. Because his base is stable, investing becomes consistent instead of dramatic. No heroic months, no chaotic months, just steady progress. Imagine this. Wealth starts growing almost quietly when your everyday system stops leaking. And when income gets shaky, the story changes completely. Most people would panic here, but with lower expenses and real cash reserves, a setback becomes manageable, not catastrophic. That is what financial stability actually looks like. Notice what improves first. Sleep, attention, relationships, confidence. Stability gives you your mind back. This is where it gets interesting. The best benefit of good money rules is often emotional freedom, not just extra cash. Same man, same basic life, totally different outcome. So what changed? Not luck, not genius, just a minimalist financial system built to absorb reality instead of collapsing under it. Now, let's make this practical for you. Step 1. Do a 30-minute money reset. Print or open your last month of spending and circle every recurring charge. Don't judge it yet. Just identify the payments that keep returning and quietly shape your life. Step 2. Make 3 moves this week. Cancel one thing, negotiate one bill, downgrade one unnecessary upgrade. That alone can create immediate breathing room. Which 3 recurring costs are giving you the least value right now? Step 3. Create simple containers. Bills, spending, emergency savings. If you want one more, add investing later. The goal is visual clarity. When your money has clean buckets, your decisions become much easier and much less emotional. Step 4. Build the first buffer fast. Sell unused stuff, redirect one side income burst, use a refund, or cut a big bill. Wait until you hear this. Speed matters here.
because early safety changes behavior immediately. Step 6. Install 2 personal rules. First, wait before non-essential purchases. Second, never add a new monthly payment without removing another one. Here's why. Rules save energy when temptation shows up at the wrong moment. Final step. Track only what protects stability. Your monthly cost of living, your cash buffer, your debt drag, and your automatic saving. That's enough. Minimalist money works because it focuses on the numbers that actually change your life. Financial stability is not flashy. It won't always look impressive online, but it feels incredible in real life. It feels like breathing room, calm sleep, clear thinking, and the ability to handle reality without falling apart. So here's the question I want to leave with you. If your income stopped for 30 days, what happens next? Panic, debt, and damage, or a temporary inconvenience? Your answer tells you exactly what to build now. You do not need to fix your entire financial life tonight. Just start the chain. Cut one recurring cost, build one small buffer, automate one smart transfer. Let me show you why that's enough. Momentum changes identity. If this helped, comment with the one monthly expense you're going to reduce first. Make it specific. That tiny decision could save you for months. And if you want more videos like this, hit subscribe and stick around.